Welcome one, welcome all to the first episode of Hinamatsuri Weekly. I'm Eric.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Slapdash Saboteurs. 85% lean. We've cut out
50,
some of the fat.
50 dislike ratio on YouTube. Your favorite channel.
Wait. So we've tested the waters with episode 1. We made some claims about the show, about where it's going.
Some of them are true.
Right. I expressed some sentiment that I wished it would slow down, and oof, well, you gotta be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, this did slow right down.
Slowed right down to quite the halt. Is it just me, or was the time of show to joke ratio very, very low this time around?
What do you mean on that?
I feel like there just weren't a lot of gags this time around.
Alright, yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm getting worried that it's perhaps trying to go for more of a drama than a comedy. They're less of the quick cuts that we saw last time.
So I am totally down with you on agreeing with that, but I think the best way to do this is just start at the very beginning, because I think that really illustrates it, right? Because the first thing that happens is Anzu shows up, and that's the fun scene. She beats him up. That's whatever. Oh, yeah. But then as soon as the OP starts, I was like, oh, the OP's nice. Notice that half the OP is people looking sad or crying.
Yeah,
it's clearly trying to build up the drama in this show for some reason.
That's not a great sign for me. Also, it didn't really fit with the tone of the OP. I don't think. It's
really kind of weird with this and the whole last episode's turn of Hina, I have to find you, and now there's this. It really seems to be building on a melodrama rather than comedy.
Yeah. But on the other hand, they also did slow down a lot again. This was 2 chapters this time? But
yeah, so. And they skipped the best chapter part of chapter 3 with the hostage situation.
Right? That was so good. That guy's a hero. Sometimes your local school shooter isn't that bad of a guy.
Oh, no.
Whoops. Well, timing. Yeah, but
they can't even have school shootings, so they're allowed to get away with this.
That's actually a pretty good point. And I'm not going to go one way or the other so as to avoid any aggressive comments about gun laws.
Alright, I'll go one way or the other. Japan needs more school shootings to help with their own population problem they have.
Yeah, they're just having too many kids these days.
Yeah, exactly.
What were they thinking? That's why they have so many shows about guns and gun gales and gun gales online to get people to start shooting, give kids guns.
Alright, can we talk about how anime doesn't have enough good gun shows, though?
It really doesn't.
Right. There's so many cool action shows with swords, and then every once in a while they have one with guns, and it's Gun Gale, and you're like, oof.
Yeah. I haven't really seen many anime that know how to tackle, tactical fights, which is how you would have to make gunfights interesting, is with, lots of cover mechanics and flanking shit, and...
I mean, Cowboy Bebop's great for just action guns.
Yeah.
Just not a whole attachment fights. I'd love more like that.
Right.
Bacano, but there needs to be more cool action guns, but they're just kind of lame guns.
The reason those two do such a great job in my mind is just because they have strong characters and strong settings and.
Well, I like them for all that and stuff, but I actually really like the action scenes just as a standalone.
For some reason, I'm having a really hard time picturing Bacano fight scenes, but yeah, Cowboy Bebop ones I remember loving.
Bacano doesn't have a whole lot of gunfights, but it has just kind of a few standoff scenes and stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so welcome to the Gun Gale online cast.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, so in this episode, we finally get to see Anzu.
Anzu, best girl.
Oh my god. And we finally... Oh, I love that biker outfit.
Yeah, the biker outfit's great. Too bad she loses it.
Right.
Spoilers.
It's a sad life.
You didn't hear that here.
It's rough being homeless. Takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
But hey, she'll pull through. I've read the original content. No worries here.
Yeah, so let's see. There was one great scene I thought early on where Anzu's in the park and friggin' Nita's following her, and he's just holding up these 2 little bushes to hide in the bush.
Right.
That makes no sense. It's great.
Not only that, but he's blocking his ears with them instead of his face.
Yeah.
There were some good parts like that. I love that they kept with the ouchie sound effect when those guys fell in sequence.
I really like that because they didn't all get lifted up and fall. They all fell one at a time.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Just a little great joke.
Sound effects are a beautiful thing, and they got those head on. But also, this episode, really, I didn't really notice as much of the poor animation in the first episode as you and Brandon seemed to. But this time around, Anzu's hair was like super jagged. There were so many like times where Nita was moving his hands and they looked ridiculous. Like when he puts his hands up, like to stop Anzu from attacking Hina or whatever, like they look like they're both broken and mangled. Who hurt you, Nita?
Just also that scene in general was like I like the comedy of the scene with the fight between Hina and Anzu.
Oh
but
yeah.
It seemed like the directing was really flat. Like there was a lot of just them talking back and forth.
Right.
And like even the scene, the funny scene of like them moving each other's faces and their faces look crazy type thing is funny, but it felt like there wasn't much done with it that wasn't in the manga already.
Yeah.
It could have easily been crazier because it's animated.
Right. I mean, it took a lot of animation work to flap their faces like that too. I don't know if it was worth it, but
whatever.
I don't know. I feel like there would have been a way to make that little interaction perhaps go by a little quicker, or
also,
something along those lines.
That was half the episode, and how many good jokes were in there?
Yeah, like, you're in a bad spot comedy-wise when one of the only jokes in the first half of the episode is, man, I really shouldn't be giving this young girl to the Yakuza. I'm a terrible person. Like,
yeah, I don't know about you.
That's pretty dark.
The subtitles I got on that weren't really as good, because I remember that from the manga. I was like, oh, this is great, but the subtitles on that like didn't make it clear that he thought he was like selling her to the Yakuza.
Right. Like, he just heavily implies that there's some kind of like underground human trafficking thing happening instead of like somehow warping it to be comedic. Like, I think I remember the phrasing in the manga being.
Well, I think just in the manga, it just looked, for one thing, it looked more dire. He looked more dire, so you like really, you could tell he was just like hated himself, whereas he was just kind of the thing.
Yeah, didn't do a great job with the emotion there.
But yeah, despite Anzu being 10 out of 10 waifu, daughteru, all thing-ru, son-ru, husband-ru, the episode was not...
Perjuru.
Ooh,
yeah.
I don't know about perjury, that's real high standards.
Excuse me, perjury. Whoops. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, there's still good background comedy in this one, like what we mentioned earlier, and, like, just the angled way Hina was walking towards that food stall in the City of Temptation.
Oh yeah, it's just leaning over.
Yeah.
The second half, when we get friggin' the best, Motheru, I guess, so Hitomi.
Why do I feel like a caretaker?
Hitomi's great. I love how she never gets things to work out her way, even though her life is actually like, really good, but she just works so hard.
Yeah. She works so hard and doesn't get so far, and in the end it doesn't really matter. Yeah. And everything is terrible for her.
But she learned how to make good drinks.
Yeah.
And that was the path that set her up to be president company. What the frig happens there?
Excuse me? Is that a post-time skip thing that I don't know?
She's the president of the company. That's pretty early.
I feel like I would remember that, but I trust you. Oh boy.
Alright.
But yeah, I love the subtle homage to the Beatles album as they're crossing the street to the girly bar. I'm sure it's not actually that, but like they just cross the street in like poses.
Okay. I didn't notice it. Right.
One of my things I had down in notes that I had to really think about what I meant when I wrote it was get scoobed, my dude. In relation to like when somebody was running away. Oh yeah, when Nita was running away and he got caught as if, say, the monster were to appear behind the door he opened. I'm imagining the Scooby-Doo scenes in which like they run back and forth between hallways. Opens the final door, there she is.
Oh yeah, the train scene. The train scene was probably top 4 jokes of this episode for me. I knew it was coming, but I just loved the whole deadpanness of it. And then the door closes and it drives away, and he just stands there. It's great.
Yeah, definitely. I think the funniest bits of this episode are like when it does the quick cuts or the quick endings to jokes. Like when Nita says, "I might have saved this nation," and there's the quick response of "How?" and then it just goes to a different scene. Like that's where the comedy's at its best in my mind. And scenes just dragged on this time around.
Yeah. Another thing I've noticed over these 2 episodes, it was particularly clear to me in the second half of this episode, is I feel like, at least in my mind, Hina in the original was not, to me, like, such a Dotaru.
Yeah.
Where she is here, especially the voice actress makes her like this real like cute girl that has powers, whereas she always seemed to me more like this lazy girl that has powers, like she wasn't really with it. Whereas here she's more like a Kana from Dragon Maid type of thing.
Yeah, I always imagined her more aloof as well. So
yeah, and that kind of also to me seems to back into that idea of this going for the more dramatic things, so it can build up the fact that he more cares about her than he does, or he more like outwardly cares about his Dotaru in this than in the manga.
Right. I mean, it was
some dramatic send off at the end that gets canceled type thing if they're billing to an anime original or whatever.
I'm fully expecting something like that, like Hina leaves and then the show ends. Oh no!
I'd expect like the last episode she's gonna leave. And then it ends up on a joke that she doesn't leave, and then it just kind of ends.
I would actually love that, though. I would be okay with that. Anyway.
See, I'd be okay with that kind of thing, but I feel like it would be the whole last... I could easily see like the last two episodes of this being all melodrama.
Yeah.
With just like a joke at the end.
And again, like that's not what I love the original concept for.
That's not Norway scans.
Nothing will ever be Norway scans. I cry every time. And just Norway Scans did such a great job of picking the comedic words correctly.
Yeah, like Norway.
Yeah. I saw an improv comedy show last night, and like the first group that went really reminded me of this episode too, I gotta say. They just said words, and it wasn't funny.
You're saying words this podcast. Love.
Speaking of saying words, we certainly are. Whew.
And then, let's see, I think my favorite joke, though, of the whole episode was in the second half, which was Hina's talking to the bartender girl, I forget her name. It sounded like a...
Shit. We should probably remember that.
Who even cares?
We should probably
worst
remember.
Waifu. But anyways, they're just talking, and she, like, jumps off the swing and just floats, spinning away slowly. That was great.
That sweet, sweet backflip.
And again, that was one of those ones that, like, the scene just kind of ends on that. Like, she's floating away, and the barkeeper's talking, and then it just goes to the next scene. It doesn't need to do anything with it.
It was beautiful. It's just situational comedy. It's funny. That's where the show shined. Also, I'm going to take a minute to point out that Hina threw rock every time. Number one strategy. Let's go, Hina.
Oh, yeah.
She knows how to play rock, paper, scissors. I keep that in mind. Rock's just the best strategy.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean... Maybe I'm biased in wanting it to be more of a comedy than a drama because that's what I loved about the original, because Norway Scans did a great job in making it comedic.
I mean, it definitely is a comedy, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially post time skip, all the drama is just, like, gone. There's, like,
really?
They introduce more stuff that's supposed to be drama, but, like, no one takes it seriously. So, like,
I would have thought that was, like, the whole point of the time skip was to add more drama.
No. Like, it's really just to, like, take away any sort of possibility of drama.
Alright, well, then it seems as if this anime is going against the wishes of the manga. We all know what happens then.
We all die.
Yeah. We all die just like I am right now and like Brandon already did.
Yeah, rip Brandon. Oh,
I'm dying. What a nerd.
What a nerd.
I'm fucking dying, though. I can't sit down. I can't lie down. Everything hurts. Is this my punishment for watching anime? Is this what I deserve?
You still feel them too, boss.
Is this studio feel telling me to get my act together?
Are you feeling it now, Mr.
I most certainly am, and I would much rather not.
Like, I guess that's about it for this episode.
Yeah.
But
so, expect the episodes to be... Oh.
It slowed down. Hopefully it picks up next episode, and maybe they get some animators to work on it.
All I want are some gags, hopefully some better outlines, and more gags. Actually, that's basically all I want. Please keep it moving, studio feel. Yeah. But, yeah, expect the episodes to be about this length in the future. They're going to be a lot shorter than the first one in general.
Check us out on more. You can follow us on the Twitter where we don't post anything.
Well, we post our videos.
That's true. We do post links to the videos.
If you subscribe, then you don't even need to. That's saving yourself time. You can't afford not to subscribe. Because otherwise you'd have to go to Twitter.
Yeah,
What a
for
deal.
every subscriber we get, that's one day that we'll have a subscriber more.
For every subscriber we get, that's one more time I'll jump in the air and make a holler and a whoop.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, also shout out to the guy in the comments. Talking about Hinamatsuri, that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we care about this show and the source material, so if you guys ever have anything to say or add, we're going to respond in the comments. If you want to start some kind of flame war, we can do that too. Yeah. Anyway, this has been Slapdash Saboteurs, Hinamatsuri Weekly Episode 2. I'm Eric.
I'm Scott.
And sayonara, Zetsubo-sensei.